I'm Rohan, the key holder of time, helping you save precious time on those repetitive tasks by introducing time-busting techniques that will really help you win new clients, retain existing customers, and save more time. In this short video, I'm going to give you a sort of a background in some of the tools and techniques that really have helped me excel at my business and grow my business. And these are some of the greatest time management hacks that you as small business owners should at least adopt, have a look into, and implement in your business if you want to drive yourself forward. So without further ado, let's have a scroll through. So why does time management matter? Well, before we dive in, a quote I love to share. I love this. Efficiency is doing things right, yet effectiveness is doing the right things. A wonderful quote there by Peter Drucker, and you should take time just to reponder that. The efficiency is doing things right, but effectiveness, being effective, is by doing the right things. And that's very instrumental in terms of what we need to do in terms of time management. But before we go in, what is time management? Let's have a spin this on its head. What is poor time management? Well, if we're not being effective in that time, then quite simply, it's going to result in three main things. And number one, we're going to increase our stress levels. Number two, we're going to miss out on some real big opportunities that you have been working on within your business. And thirdly, and ultimately, this is going to diminish your productivity. Your productivity is your time. And if you're diminishing your time, you're diminishing your productivity. So let's have a think about this and start thinking about some of the ways and techniques that I'm going to introduce to you now, and that when you implement these are going to help you increase some of that productivity, some of that time, so you can concentrate on those things that really matter in your business. So before we go in here, this is very key, and it's the Eisenhower Matrix. Now, this is why setting the urgent versus important is very instrumental. And one of these is, if I could give you one tip today, is taking and thinking about this model and trying it for a couple of days to see if this really works. So we have this quadrant. It's really based in four segments. We have the important versus the not so important, and the urgent versus the non-urgent. So when we look at our daily activities, when something is important and urgent, hey, guess what? Hey, we need to get that done and we need to do it today. Then we're going to filter over onto the important, but hey, it's not so urgent. That doesn't need to be responded to right now. Then let's schedule that in, put a time in to do it a bit later on. And then we come to the not important and not so urgent. Well, okay, there's no real rush if I'm going to get that task done today or not, or respond to that email or not. So, it needs to be done. So let's delegate that. Let's delegate that out to somebody else. And if there really is something that's not important and it's not urgent at all, well, very simply just hit the delete button, stop doing it and move on and concentrate your time and efforts into those things that are important and urgent. There's a couple of tools we can do to sort of really get the brain working on this and implementing it so you can take those necessary steps. There's the Eisenhower Matrix app. You can download this on the web or through your iPhone or smartphone, and this will really help you start entering data in terms of what you think is important when you're mapping out your priorities for that day. Other great tools are Trello, Asana, Todoist, all great tools out there. Some may cost, some may not, depends what works for you. But there is nothing more instrumental than the good old-fashioned pen and paper. This really is you, mind and brain to hand and paper, writing a list of those priorities for that day, and then scrolling through and ticking those off as and when we go through. Sounds very basic, but hey, it's a discipline, and we need to do that every day in terms if we're really going to shave and influence our time and effectiveness. So I talked on those prioritizations, and really it's keeping abreast of the top three rules. Now, we can talk about this in, you may have heard of this, the Pareto Principle. And a key, I love this phrase, 80% of results come from 20% of efforts. Let's think about that. So 80% of everything that you churn out is only going to come from 20% of the effort and the time that you're putting in. So when we think about this in a prioritization rule and thinking about those top three rules, well, they've become very self-evident. We should be looking, when we go back to the Eisenhower matrix, and we've segregated about what needs to happen, what's critical and what's urgent, what's important and urgent, that we can now select three of those critical daily tasks that you need to churn out. Then what we're going to do is, in that imagination, we've weeded out your priority out of that list, and now we're going to spend or focus 20% of that energy just being directed to those three critical tasks. And then what that is going to achieve is an 80% of results. That's right, yeah. So spending 20% of your time on those key prospects, those three key tasks in your day, is actually going to unbox 80% of your results in that one day. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, when I do it, when I adopt this style, this really does leave me in a sense of self-achievement that I know I've done something in that day. And even those smaller little tasks, they weren't important, they were non-urgent. I could have deleted or rescheduled them. But I'm getting through most of my day by just focusing on the real important stuff and getting them boxed off. So the Pareto Principle is something that if you really want to claim back some time, then you really need to think about adopting a Pareto Principle. Now, another technique you may or may not have heard of is the Pomodoro Technique. Really wonderful. Takes a little bit of discipline, this one. And for me, I've been using this for years. And my very beginning instinct was, hold on, work 25 minutes, have a 5-minute break. Well, that's not very productive if I'm taking all this time off. But stop, no, it doesn't work like that. We've got to think about our brains and in terms of how long they can stay switched on, stay focused and channeled into certain jobs. We've all been there. We're sat in front of the computer for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and actually the mind starts slipping. We navigate away, we're flipping between our tabs, we're actually not really concentrated on it. We stop and we pause, we get the brain freeze, and we're not being very productive, even though we think we're sitting there doing the work. The Pomodoro technique is here to say, hey, look, let's keep focused. Go for it for 25 minutes. Stop, have a walk around, take a 5-minute pause, whatever it is you need to do in terms of just recharge, refocus, and distract your mind from that 25-minute focus. And I promise you now that when you come back to it, you are genuinely fired up for the next bout of that 25 minutes of your focused work. Now, when you do this in and take a 5-minute break and repeat 4 times, I promise you now, once you've tried this for a day, you will soon start to see how much more productive and how much work you can do just by this one simple technique alone. But other than that, where do these things take us? You know, it's all very well and good saying practice this, do this technique and influence that. But yeah, these are our businesses are infused with daily interruptions. We have to bend, we have to shape, we have to spin all these plates. We have to be so flexible to respond to all these different things as business owners. But hey, look, we should be controlling those interruptions. We should be controlling what's coming into our workload. But if we go back to the Eisenhower Matrix and the Pomodoro Technique, I've just explained that trying to keep focused, that your mind is blocked out into certain segments, and we've already set out what your three critical tasks are. So anything else that's coming into that period, these are interruptions, a distraction, and it's actually going to delay your process in getting things done. So infused with a couple of those other techniques, we can start thinking about the 2-minute rules and certain things we can turn off. So when we come to the elements where we're checking our notifications, we're checking our emails, let's start thinking about the 2-minute rule. And that very simply is, if you can't do it in 2 minutes, schedule it for later. If you can do it in that 2 minutes, get it done, delete it, and move on. Get rid of that queue and that item. But staying focused and detracting away from all the other interruptions we have is, yes, it's our phones. It's our notifications on our computer. It's a phone call that's coming in. All these little influences that are going to take us away from our project. And when we take away from that project, and you think about this, you go away, you answer a call, you're being mid-flow in terms of a presentation, you take a phone call, you come back to your presentation, think, well, I've lost my trail of thought. Where was I up to? And now we're going to take 10 minutes to sort of start over again, go back to the beginning to try and find our trail of thought. Now, stop doing it. Very simple. Just stop. We need to control. If we're in the middle of a presentation, I don't want any interruptions. I don't want my phone. Nothing is important to me. That next phone call in terms of me finishing what I need to do is not important. We're business owners. We're not in the 999 service, and therefore nothing is life critical. Those things can wait. So turn on the please do not disturb. If you've got a smartphone, very simple. Into your settings, switch on notifications, go into the advanced settings. You can even say turn it on and switch it off in a certain time. That's if you to ensure that you don't forget to turn it off at a later stage. But turn off those notifications. Get that do not disturb, and come to it at your point once you've finished your critical tasks or you're ready to run your pause of your next part of your process. You can also use tools like Freedom.20. This is really good that works for the web and your applications, whereby you can select what interruptions and what notifications you want to stay on, schedule timings, times out, and a little bit more granular. But for the freebies, it's, just turn it off on your phone, bottom right hand corners of your Mac of your computers, iMacs into your settings, but just turn off right click in the bottom right hand corner, little notification symbol, little bell, turn off the do not disturb or pause notifications. Taking this one level further, think about those emails because they are probably one of the biggest interruptions in our business. And I don't need to tell you, but I'm pretty savvy in the average amount of emails. If we're taking in 100 emails every day, 80% of those are spam. Those are emails that are trying to sell you something, distracting you away from your projects, trying to clickbait you for other activities, somebody else's newsletters, all these kind of things that go on. And 20% may be coming from your clients, your suppliers, and maybe some important emails. But there is nothing worse than saying, oh, there's a pop-up of an email. What's this one? Oh, it's a newsletter. It sounds quite interesting. But now your mind's gone away and you start reading an email, and that was not important. Boom, you've lost some time. Close your email applications. Turn off the Gmail, turn off the Outlook, turn off your Hotmails and your cloud Outlooks, yeah? Turn them off and discipline yourself to say, look, I'm going to access this. Me personally, I only go in 3 times every single day. You may need 4 times or 5 times. It doesn't need to be on 8 hours a day, and you don't need to have this popping up and taking away those distractions. So try and do a discipline, maybe try this technique about, and then seeing the benefits of it later. And I promise you now, I felt that same pain. What if a customer and they're asking for some information? I've been there. I've come back to it 3 hours later. It was an important email. I responded when I responded and when I was able to. That had no impact in terms of I didn't have them screaming saying, why didn't I reply in 2 minutes? Unless you've got service level agreements where you're saying that you will reply in 2 minutes, then turn those emails off and you'll respond when you respond to them. Okay, you want to claw back so even more time in your day. This is all about being in your zone of genius, okay? In your lane. Do what you do best and outsource the rest. Okay. Your zone of genius is what you do best. It's probably one of the biggest reasons why you decided to set up in business yourself. So why are you going to be tracked down and be overwhelmed with all the stuff that you don't like doing in your business? All that admin, all that social media posting, yeah, all that invoice chasing, sending emails, drafting emails and trying to run a diary. Okay, well, why are we doing those things which are going to slow you down from selling, growing your business? Um, Taking away your time. You're sitting there now doing 12, 13, 14, 15-hour days because you're going on to overdrive with all your admin. It's unproductive. It's a waste of time, and you will not grow your business if you're trying to consume everything all in yourself. And that may be good if that's all your intention is. But for most small business owners like me and you, as solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, this is about scale who want to scale their business, who want to grow their bottom line. If you're not outsourcing and delegating, then guess what? You're not growing your business. Out in the world, there are many virtual assistants. We're not saying to employ one. Go and employ 10 of those. Go and take a VA on who specializes in social media. Take a VA on who just deals in bookkeeping. Take another VA on who does greater email management, whatever it may be, whatever's not in your lane, whatever's not in your zone of genius, outsource it to somebody else. Using Fiverr, Upwork.com, lots of freelancer websites out there that you can tap into for those lesser opportunities that are quick little fixes for you. I'm not going to go into the freelancers and trustability and all that kind of stuff on this session, but the alternative is that, hey, if you are growing and you are getting that overwhelmed and there is a lot of work to do, then maybe it is now time to start bringing in those admin staff into the business. So outsourcing is your zone of genius. Do what you do best and outsource the rest. Final part for me is about automation. The bit I get personally quite excited about this is in my zone of genius, if you like. Automate to accelerate your growth. Automate to accelerate the time you can get back. Automate to grow your client base, to reach out to these people. The power of AI and automation tools is statistically proven that this can save you over 10 hours a week alone in productivity time. Online automation tools like Zapier that can take information in from an email and create autoresponders or schedule things into appointment links or taking data from an email and populating it into your CRM. All these things are little powerful tools that will take over that manual intervention where you don't need to do it. Okay. ChatGPT, another great online productivity tool. Excuse me. Another fantastic online tool. ChatGPT will really help you with some of that brain fog that you may have. Okay. And by that brain fog, look, we've got to be in the social domain. Yes, I know. If we all had the choice and business wasn't done out within the social domain and you wasn't getting self-visible, I'm sure we would all be off it and save so much more time. But unfortunately, keep up with the Joneses. We've got to put our messages out there if we want to be visible and we want to be seen. There's a very rare, small collection of people who enjoy doing this. Unless you're an influencer, for example, and this is what you live and breathe by, then that's absolutely fine. But I would imagine for most other small businesses that don't have a business centered around social media, I would imagine this is now another time-consuming element of your day where you've got to spend there posting on your social channels. Okay. And we all know what happens here when we're posting on social media. We're opening up those devices now. Okay, we're going to post something, then we read something, then we start scrolling, and then before you know it, that 20-minute post has become a whole hour-long session because you've been consumed into social media. Hello, there's another hour out of your day. That's another hour of your time at whatever hour rate that you're doing that has gone down the swanny. So think about bulk uploading schedules. Get your content, get ChatGPT to help you guide some 30 posts, for example, give you some inspiration about the topic, the service that you're selling. Bring that into a scheduler, tweak it and personalize it. Don't just copy and paste from ChatGPT. Use it as a tool to help you get those creative juices going from a bit of that brain fog and upload and use that into your social media posting. If you're not using calendar booking systems and you're still doing the good old fashioned email exchange with, hey, let's schedule a call, let's book a meeting, are you free on Thursday at 4 p.m. To wait 2 hours to get a response back saying, no, I can do Friday at 3 p.m. for that to come back. And you go, well, I can't do 3 p.m. And hold on, all this waiting, exchanging, and actually not getting anything in the diary. Come on, we can all be smarter than that. Hey, use a calendar automated booking system. Hey, would really love to get a meeting with you. What's your availability like for the next couple of days? Make things a little bit easier. Here's my calendar link. Find a date and time that really works for you. Um, Force it, get in control of that system and that pattern. Let them self-book online. This is you as a business owner being in control, letting them select a date and time that works and is segregated for you. And then from there, that automation in the back is going to send them a reminder. It's going to lead them and send some follow-ups up until the date of their time. It's going to put that link into their calendar for them. Okay. This is again clawing back that time where you're not doing a manual intervention of, Joe, I've just come off the phone. It's now 4 o'clock, and now we're going to go into your Outlook schedule, be it Outlook or Gmail calendars. You're going to click on the tabs, enter the details, and it's just time consuming. Let's think about some automated tools. Calendly gives you a free version of this. Maybe not all the automation, but it's an auto scheduling system. Then we can look at autoresponders, canned snippets. These are really, really, or one of the things I use all the time. Okay. I know, and you know, that there are certain things in your day that you do the same thing over and over and over again. Okay. I've just been to a networking meeting, okay? We come out of these meetings, we're talking to lots of people, and it's great meeting new clients. And yes, we want to schedule some one-to-ones to see what collaborations and opportunities we have. But I hear it time and time again that we come back to the computer, we scrape the email from the business card, whatever it may be, and we're now going to manage that. Hey, it was good to see you, John, at the networking meeting. Hey, I really liked our conversation. Shall we schedule a one-to-one? When's good for you? Goodbye and wait for a response. No, let's have some of these that information that you want to tell your audience, your clients, your prospects once you've just done a interim follow-up. Create your snippets, create your autoresponders, get that information. You can save this as a template in Gmail, in Outlook, your CRM, save it as a free snippet in your CRMs. And what this does is then you just copy and paste that one snippet in, personalize it to Fred, to Joe, to Mary, whoever you want to be. If there's something additional that you wanted to highlight to really get hey, I enjoyed the coffee. I hope it wasn't too sweet because I put two sugars in one, but whatever that may be, personalize it afterwards. But we're only adding in a sentence or two, not a whole script every time we come to do an email. And if you really want to take this to the next level, we can think about all those online tools and your Zapiers, your Hootsuites, your Calendly, your autoresponders in Gmail. And actually, if you want to take that level to the next level in terms of time, a CRM system is definitely the next place. I'm tired of hearing people tell me, I don't have many clients, so I don't need a CRM. Rubbish. This isn't what a CRM is, okay? This is a tool that is here to help you along with your processes. It is here as your back office support. It is here to not only centralize all these things, as I've just mentioned, but with all this AI that you get in a CRM system these days, this is your autopilot of boosting you to become more productive in your business. It doesn't matter if I've got 2 clients. A process is a process. They're all going to follow the same process. So thinking about your CRM or the investment into a CRM is not something we dictate by your client base or the size or the cost of the monthly subscription. Admittedly, they can feel a little bit expensive, but there are lots of CRMs out there. I'm happy to share some of those. But within that CRM, this is an investment, okay? And I'm going to show you now why they become an investment and not. So, an interesting report by Gartner, a global AI adoption company, research all these stats on where is AI taking us, what is this doing for us as business owners and for the future of economies. And here are some of those major benefits of using this AI adoption, SaaS products, software as a service within your business. Okay. So let's talk about the financial. Okay. So we're saying just under 7% of your in, of your revenue is going to be improved if you take the adoption or if you embrace AI and SaaS products into your business. Now let's assume my revenue is £3,000 a month. Okay. A 7% improvement in that revenue, okay, equates to just over 200 quid. Okay. Doesn't sound a great deal, but hey, 200 quid extra on the bottom line through some AI automation, not a bad start. Do the math on your own numbers. But this is where it gets interesting. So when it comes to productivity and quality boost, we've talked about this earlier. Productivity is time. This is you spending time doing the things that you need to do in your business. If AI is helping out and set up in your systems and helping you, all these tools, this is going to give you 18%, over 18.5% of productivity and quality boost. Now, when we do the maths here, based on a 40-hour week, okay, an 18% boost over the month is going to equate to, you got it, 33 hours of reclaimed time in your business by using tools to help you get your job done. Let's take that one step further. Based on a typical £35 an hour, and there's 40 hours in every single week, okay, this is over a month, 1,155 quid of time, your time that you probably indirectly charge yourself or that you can claim back or use for your selling products and turn up into your top line revenue. Or if we're overstacked in your work, this is 33 hours back that you can claim for your own other growth or family or however else you want to spend your time. The other major factor here is the 23% in operational costs that this looks after. Imagine AI, you've got all these operational costs, and these things could be all your tech stacks, your websites, all these forms, your calendar, your Hootsuite, all your subscriptions that you're signed up for, whichever business sector that you're in. If AI can help infuse and help do those things operationally through some SaaS software, CRM system, this can lead you up to a 23% cost reduction in your business. So let's assume your costs are about 1,000, you're taking a revenue of 3,000 on average, you're going to have about 30% cost association. So based on £1,000 cost, that's going to save you in your business 230 quid at the same time, every single month. Now, this is when it starts to shape up, because now not only is AI helping increase some of the revenue, and let me just add here, by 2025, as AI gets better, this figure is going to go between 15 and 20%, I guarantee you that. But right now, when we combine those two figures, when we're saving 220 quid on making an extra 210 on revenue and saving 230 quid on operational costs, that's 440 quid that's going to go back into your revenue, your front line. That equates to around about 15% increase. With that 440 quid, is that not where you'd think you'd want to invest some of that money into this AI adaptation, into a CRM that is claimed to be too expensive? Or is it quite happy staying on your bottom line and thinking, hey, thank you very much, I've reduced everything, I'm come through the money that I'm getting, and I've equally now got 33 more hours every single month in my business to spend with the family and the things that you probably set up your business for. So I'll leave you with that thought. There's lots to take in there in terms of what we can do. Simple techniques that you can take out. We're not saying to go and do all of them. One of them may resonate with you today. And if it does, I encourage you just to try one. Just try one of those things, see how it does. If that's working, think about something else. If you really want to accelerate and you really want to grow, think about this AI adoption and how it can benefit you and your business. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. I'm Rohan, the key holder of time. you've enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Any questions in the comments below, or feel free to reach out to me at rawcorp.co.uk. I'll add in some further details into the below. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you over in the next video.